Hi, this is Jaiya, New World Sex Educator, creator of the art of female self-pleasuring. I'm a somatic sexologist, and this is day number 4 of my 101 days of self-pleasure. I've had an absolutely blissful morning this morning. It was amazing. I got up first thing and went to the spa. I belong to an all-women's gym, so it's really awesome, and they have a spa. I had a luxurious hot stone massage and then a facial, total pampering. Went into the sauna, lay in the sauna, had hot tea, and then had a great workout. Fed my body with an amazing kale smoothie from this little place in the valley that I love. They have great raw vegan food. And came home and decided to do a full Tantra session. My background is in Absolute Tantra, so this practice is their daily practice, the Absolute Tantra formula. I started by setting the intention of finding inner peace through pleasure. So allowing my pleasure to get me to a really peaceful state. I started by activating my body with shaking, just doing shaking my head, shaking my shoulders, shaking out any tension, and then also I did some pounding and slapping on my body to really get myself in my body. And from there, stilling the mind, which was the hardest part for me. My mind was really, really active, and I have a mind that just never stops working. So I started with alternate nostril breathing, which is simply inhaling and exhaling out of each nostril. So you can inhale in your left side, close it off, exhale out the right side, inhale in the right side, close off, hold, exhale out the left side, and doing a number of rounds of that. From there, I noticed my mind was still pretty active, so went into another meditation called Hong Sa, and just inhaling and exhaling in and out of the nose while chanting in my mind the mantra Hong Sa, and then adding Mula Bandha, root lock is what that means in Tantra, in Sanskrit, and so we call it Mula Bandha in Tantric practice, but it's basically your Kegel. So doing some Kegel squeezes while doing this breath. And that helped me both get in my body and started stilling my mind. Every time my mind started wandering, I would just bring it back to the breath, which really was helpful. For those of you who don't know what Tantra is or have never heard of it or practiced it, Tantra is a path, and it can be a spiritual path for many people, but it's a spiritual path that doesn't exclude the sexual or the physical aspects. I love it because it's a path through the body. It's not something to get out of the body or that the body is bad or wrong. It's something where we actually use the body and use pleasure to attain enlightenment. Tantric sex, on the other hand, and I want to make a delineation between the two because often what you hear about is tantric sex. And that is basically just taking out the sexual practices and using them to enhance intimacy, connection, expanding lovemaking, extending it, and can make lovemaking a really powerful and awesome experience for many people who aren't maybe interested in the spiritual aspects but want to practice some of the tantric arts. So back to my self-pleasure session. So I went from stilling the mind, from the stillness, into the arousal. And this is a really fun arousal session. I started by massaging the bottoms of my feet, the beginning of the kidney meridian, which is at the base of the big toe, and massaging up the inner thighs, over the genitals, just following that kidney meridian up the inner thighs, stroking over the genitals around to the back, to the kidney area. I want to point out that this is really important, especially after you've given birth, like me, that your adrenals may be very low, or if you have a high-stress life. So I did some massage just intending to feed my adrenal glands. Adrenals in Chinese medicine are the seat of Jing, or sexual vitality, sexual essence, life force essence. And so just setting the intention and really rubbing that area of the small of my back to feed my adrenals. So at this point I'm feeling a little juicy and wanted to go into my genitals. And I invented a new technique, which is really fun. So here's my vagina, and have one finger internal into the vagina. I was stimulating my G-spot a lot here by doing just a little curl with my finger. And then another finger, which was, let's put this one inside the vagina, which was situated on my perineum, the area between the anus and the vagina. So I had these two fingers, and I was just doing like little circles, really massaging. So I was getting a little internal stimulation as well as stimulation on that area between the anus and the vagina. Why that's important is because that's the perineal sponge, and that's actually a network of erectile tissue. So there's actually pleasurable tissue there in that area between the anus and the vagina. So stimulating that was really awesome, and then adding clitoral stimulation to it. Then I started the transmutation process. So I built an excitement, lots of excitement, got very close to orgasm, and then transmuted. So what transmutation means is basically taking the sexual sensation that's in my genitals and moving it throughout the rest of my body. So I took a lot of time to just nice deep breaths. What I do for transmutation is very simple. Take a deep breath in, contracting the muscles at the base of my body like a kegel, take a sniff, and exhale. And I do 3 of those for each round. So first round, excitement, excitement, excitement. Then doing that breath, which allows me to go into an enjoyment phase, just really enjoying the pleasure that I build up. Then building, and the pleasure seems higher each round. So I got to round 3 when I decided to go ahead and go over the edge and have a vaginal orgasm. And that was awesome, but decided I wanted to go for more. So to the 4th round where I had the clitoral, the big shebang for me, which was the clitoral orgasm. And of course the journey there is always exquisite. That was awesome. So then I just took some time after that to meditate, to really just be with my body and feel. I didn't take my fingers outside of myself. I kept them there and just did some breathing and just really noticing. I noticed that my mind was still. So it took me this wave and all this pleasure and the orgasms to get to kind of the 0 point of just being in complete stillness and complete calm. So that was awesome. So I came down, floated down from my love loft, all blissed out. My partner was like, wow, you look amazing. That was the first thing he said when he saw me. And came down to my office to record, and my flip camera flipped out. It just short-circuited, stopped working, screen went green, crazy. So maybe it was the tantric energy. That's what someone said. I just blasted it with all my energy. But I had to run out and get a new camera, but I'm back online, thank goodness. I'm with a new camera, the Kodak ZI-8, and we'll see how this one compares to the flip. But I'm glad that I'm back and able to record, very much so. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm excited for day number 5. You can find out more at 101daysofpleasure.com or my site, newworldsexeducation.com. I'm excited for tomorrow. I'll see you then.